Hello, both sides of the conversation family. We welcome you to this virtual space crafted especially for you. My name is Jada Curry, and I'm both sides of the conversation's marketing director and graphics design specialist. I want to take some time to ground us all as a community into this space we are about to open up in. So let's go through our community standards. Both sides of the conversation is providing a safe and honest space for open conversation. So we ask that you all be respectful of that. We also ask that you be respectful of each panelist, host, and participant. We do encourage healthy debates and conversations. Don't personalize anything with anyone. This includes name calling, bullying, trolling, or shaming. This will not be allowed or tolerated. Your perspective is yours. It is not a prescription. You do not have to agree, but show respect. These community standards apply to all of our live shows and any virtual spaces that we hold on social media, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to make sure that we are caring for each other as a community. This is our priority in all of our endeavors as both sides of the conversation. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's show and continue to stay in touch with us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or all of them. All right, thank you for listening and see you soon.
Welcome to Both Sides of the Conversation. I'm your host, Tony Rochelle. We miss you, John, but we holding it down for you. Today is Thursday, so y'all know what that means. It's Educational Thursday. And do we have a treat for you as usual? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But before we go into our guests for tonight, you know we got to get to those community announcements and all the events that's going on around the Bay Area. So I still have my sister here to help me out with those announcements today. I'm going to bring her on up. Hi, sister.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Good evening, community. And happy birthday, John. But we hope you're enjoying your time away as we hold it down here at both sides of the conversation. I'm about to get into our world announcements. An all-Black female airline crew makes history. An American airline flight recently made history while celebrating its 100th anniversary of Betsy Coleman, the first Black African-American woman to earn a pilot license. The first time in American Airlines history with American Airlines carrier 96 years of existence, everyone involved from the ramp crew, the gate crew, the cockpit, the cabin was all Black women. The recent flight from Phoenix to Dallas was made in honor of Betsy, who had to learn to fly in Paris because it wasn't an option here in the U.S. Next up is the CDC currently investigating the fast-moving E. coli outbreak. The outbreak has occurred in 2 states, which is Ohio and Michigan, and has sickening close to 30 people. Federal judge rules Walmart, CVS, Walgreens must pay $650.6 million for damages related to opioid epidemic. The U.S. District Attorney Dan Arnold ruled that over the next 15 years, approximately $306.2 million must be paid to Lake County, and roughly $344.4 million must be paid to Trumbull County. All three companies were liable for their hands in the outbreak last November. Now we're going to get into our community events. Grand opening, Rome's Kitchen, putting the soul into Italian. Friday, August 19th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., 1195 Evans Avenue, San Francisco, California. Love 'em Back to Life presents the Back to School Revival and Backpack Giveaway, Friday, August 19th at 7 p.m., Antioch Christian Center. The information is at the bottom. Allen Temple Virtual Health Fair, Racism, a Public Health Crisis, Saturday, August 25th. The link is at the bottom. Western Edition Music Festival, Jazz and Blues, Saturday, August 20th. The Historic Fillmore District, Fillmore, San Francisco, Gary and Turk. The website is at the bottom as well. Open House Memorial Dedication to Lieutenant Governor's Desk Installation, Thursday, August 25th, 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., Masonic Building, 281 Masonic Street in San Francisco. The RSVP information is below. Meet and greet with the Honorable Brooke Jenkins, District Attorney, City and County of San Francisco, Thursday, August 25th, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., Bayview Opera House, 4705 3rd Street, and that's in San Francisco. Black Futures Artists in Residence Program, open call for new applicants. Application to apply is August 25th. The link is below as well. Potrero Hill Family Day on the Green, Saturday, August 27th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. 801 Arkansas Street in San Francisco. The 2022 Nonprofit Boot Camp starts Tuesday, August 30th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Ruth Williams Memorial Theater. That's at 4705 3rd Street in San Francisco. The link is also below. The San Francisco Black Cowboys Family Day Parade and Festival, Saturday, September 3rd, 11 a.m. is the parade at Gilman Park. And the festival is at 1 p.m. at the Bayview Opera House. For more information, contact Reverend Birch, and the number is below. The Young Black Climate Leaders, applications are being accepted for the new youth-led YBCL Future Funds. Black leaders between the ages of 18 and 28 years old are encouraged to apply for the 3 tiers of funding between $1,500 to $6,500 to support their work at the intersection of social justice and climate. The link is also below. San Francisco Smart Money Coaching, free confidential financial guidance for anyone living, working, or receiving services in San Francisco. To schedule an appointment, the number is below. Don't forget to donate to Uncle Stank's GoFundMe. The link is also below. Also, both sides of the conversation announcements. We're currently searching for volunteers. Our work is inspiring and feels very good. We are making a difference in the community with tangible results to show it. We are all a high-driven group that impact the community. We get the right things done the right way. Not only do we contribute to the community, but you'll also learn a lot and gain a lot of knowledge in your field of interest within the art organization. We value your ideas and input. Sign up to be a volunteer today and make a difference. Support both sides of the conversation while you shop online. Amazon Smiles donates 0.5% of your eligible purchases to Amazon to both sides of the conversation. All you need to do is start your shopping at smile.amazon.com and choose both sides of the conversation as your charitable organization, and the donation will be made at no extra cost to you. Go to our social media sites for more information and news, and to give back to your community and support both sides of the conversation. Our upcoming show this Sunday Conversation, is our Ladies Night segment. That will be August 21st at 2 p.m. We hope to see you there because the ladies of both sides of the conversation will be having some tea to spill.
You might want to tell the community that one more time, because I'm pretty excited about Sunday. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for Friday to get here so Sunday can be right here.
Well, this Sunday, the ladies of both sides of the conversation, and it's a whole lot of ladies of both sides of the conversation.
It's a whole lot of ladies, okay? Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Tell your auntie, cousin, sister, brother, everybody to come and kick it with the ladies.
This will be Sunday. A controversial show. We know after our show, the gentlemen gonna be trying to get their dibs in for their show, but we ladies first. So make sure you come and join us on Ladies Night, August 21st at 2 p.m. And we again want to shout out a happy birthday to our executive director, John.
Happy birthday, John. Happy birthday. We love you. We miss you. We hope you really on vacation and really enjoying yourself.
But we hold it down for you.
Well, thank you, Shawnee, for the announcements. I appreciate you being here. Y'all see her back on Sunday. Y'all give my girl some love. And we're going to continue the show tonight because, like I said, it's Educational Thursday. And y'all know what that means. We're going to get
Auntie Financial.
Right. We're going to get right on into our show tonight. It's Thursday. We like to keep the community educated. We like to let y'all know about all the resources and everything that's going on. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up our guest, my auntie, your auntie, the financial auntie, Miss Unique. Y'all welcome her to the stage, community.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. So I am the financial auntie. Yes, I am your financial auntie. And like all aunties, I am here to tell you the truth. Look, I'm not holding nothing back. I'm going to be upfront and honest. And if you have any questions, drop them in there. I'm open for questions. So let me explain why I'm the financial auntie. So I got into this financial industry because I saw, first of all, a lack of color. And when there's a lack of color, there's a lack of trust. And we're going to have to build that trust with our community so that we can have more people joining in and taking advantage of the financial tools that are available to us that have never been available like this before. So let's jump right into it. Why am I here? Why am I the financial auntie? And I'm going to tell you why, because I live life. And life was not always good. And when I say that, I mean, I did everything that traditional life tells you to do. I went to school, I got A's, I got degrees, I got 2 master's degrees, 1 in finance, 1 in therapy. I did everything that they say to do, except for making sure I had life insurance, making sure I had a personal pension plan, making sure I knew how to utilize these things beyond a death benefit, what we traditionally know life insurance to be. So when I got sick, and I got sick in my 30s, see, they don't talk about that. They don't talk about when you think you're doing great, you driving your little BMW, you going to work, you making them 6 figures, that life can happen, that you can get sick. And if you get sick, oh no, don't think those county programs are going to pay for that. No, if you have any assets, they want their money back. So what do? You drain your savings. You file bankruptcy, because that's the number one reason why people file bankruptcy is because of medical bills. You think that county hospital free? No, if you own a house, it's not. They want your house. You think Social Security disability gonna take care of you? Nope, they're not gonna give you enough. Not to pay your mortgage if you have one, not to pay your car note if you have one. No. And how long do you think your savings is gonna last? Look, I can tell you, 2 months, if that. So, as a financial auntie, I'm here to educate as many people as I can on how to protect what you're growing, what you're working for, and how to do it properly. And to ask the right questions, because you know what? Not everybody out here for your best interest. So you need to know how to weed out those who are not. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you the truth all day, every day. So any questions, let me know. I'd like to go ahead and start with my presentation. And I'm going to give you an idea of why these things are so important, because they're not taught in school. Basic financial literacy is not taught in school. Kids don't know anything about taxes. Kids don't know anything about compounding interest. Kids don't know anything about index strategies. And it's like now all of a sudden we have all access to the internet and we're slowly starting to learn, but we still don't know how to use those strategies for our benefit because we're stuck. We're stuck in a place where we're used to listening to grandma talk about life insurance and we think it's just for death. No, it's not. It's so much more than that. And that's why I do want to talk about the $1 million baby. So I'm going to drop some knowledge on y'all. I don't know if y'all ready for all this. I'm really not sure if you're ready for all this, because this is a mindset thing. I mean, if you're ready to really take advantage of the financial vehicles and grow and protect and have guarantees, look, then you need to stick around. So my first presentation is just talking about who I am. So as a financial auntie, I am a licensed professional. And what I do is I'm non-captive agent, which means I work with a lot of insurance companies. And what I'm able to do is bring my customers and say, hey, this is what my customer needs. And I can tailor what they need and pick the company that's right for them. So I'm a matchmaker in finance as well. So you know how your auntie be trying to set you up? That's me. I do that. I do that too, but financially speaking. So I like to bring this up if I can. There we go. So this is what we do. We provide all of our clients with the power of choice. And what that means is you don't have to fit into the criteria of one company. No, we shop around to make sure that the company fits you. And with that, that puts power back into the client's hands, because we're looking at what are your financial goals? What do you want to accomplish? And look, the sky's the limit. There really is there's no. There's only yeses. So I'm going to go deeper into the life insurance, because I think we need to know more of how to utilize that. Because Black community, we are the number one community that has life insurance. But our problem is we do not have enough life insurance. And so that's where knowing your options come in. So next, this is the most important part when it comes to financial literacy. And this is what I was talking about, where they do not talk about this in school. This is the 3 rules of money. Now, the 3 rules of money, very simple concepts, but they're not taught, because you have compound interest. Compound interest is telling you how your money is going to grow. And I don't know if everybody have credit cards yet, but if you used to or still do, if you have used a credit card, you know that when you put a balance on your credit card and you only pay the minimum next month, the balance is higher. Okay, that's compounding interest. That's what that is, but in the negative. So what if you can take that concept of compounding interest, but put it into your pocket? That when you put away $100 and then you get interest on that $100, so the next time you get more interest, you're not getting interest on just the 100. You're getting interest on 110. And the next time you're getting interest on 120. That's what compounding interest is. And there are financial vehicles out there that will compound your money, which means you know when your money's going to double. And so that's where the rule of 72 come in. This is a really great equation. It was popularized by Albert Einstein. And the rule of 72 tells you, hey, you take your number 72, you divide it by whatever interest rate you're getting. And it tells you, hey, your money's going to double in this amount of time. Let's just say, for example, you have $10,000 and you drop it in the bank. You know your savings account is only giving you 0.001%. It ain't really giving you what you need. But you take that, and let's say for equation purposes, we say 1%. It's going to take almost 72 years for that money to double without you adding more into it. That's why it's important to know these concepts. So okay, if I put my money into an account that is making 10%, I know my money's going to double every 7.2 years. You see how simple that concept is, but it's something that's not taught. So now you have the power to know, okay, if I get a high yield savings account and it's 4% interest, my money is going to double every 18 years. Now you have the power to know when your money is going to double. Now let's talk about how money grows, because you have 3 options. Like I said, they don't talk about this. You have your fixed, you have your variable, and you have your indexed. Now, fixed is like your savings account. And sad to say, because right now, as we speak, inflation is almost 10%. So even though you put money away in the bank account, your savings account, that 0.1% they're giving you for your savings is not keeping up with inflation. So the only way that your savings is going to go up if you keep adding money in there. And even if you do, it's still not going to be the same when you pull that bad boy out. Then you have variable. Now, this is your stock market investments. That means you're putting your money into the stock market. So one day it's up, next day it's down, one day it's up, next day it's down. But they don't tell you how to calculate that properly. You can lose your principal. That means if you drop $100 in there, it could drop down to $50. But it has to do over 50% for you to even break even, which means you ain't made no money yet. The next one is index. Now, this is a strategy people are starting to now understand. So with an index strategy, your money is not in the stock market. It's tied to the stock market, but it's not in it. So when your money goes up, you get that gain, and then it locks in. So if the market does -15, -103, you are not affected in the index strategy. So, but when the market goes up again, you get those gains. So do you see, these are really simple concepts that need to be taught starting in high school, but they don't teach them, because then that puts the power back into your hands. The last one, and this is this is my favorite, taxes. How are you taxed? And this is so crucial, because nobody wants a surprise tax bill in the mail. You can ask any movie star. So you have your tax now, and that's your savings account. And what that means is, okay, I put my money from after my paycheck, my net income, into my savings account. So that money's already been taxed. You don't have to worry about that. Then you have your tax later money. Now, this is important to know, because you need to know how later are they going to tax you. So your tax later accounts, those are your 401ks. And the majority of Americans have a 401k and don't know the bare necessities to how to operate that and make sure that is the proper vehicle for them. So a tax later account says, okay, before you get your paycheck, we are putting this money away for you, but you can't touch it until we get our taxes. That's tax later. And then you have your tax advantage accounts. Now, this is your cash value life insurance and your Roth IRAs. And we're going to go a little bit deeper into that. So I'm loving this. I'm telling you, these concepts, these 3 rules of money, they are so simple. And they really do put the power back into the client's hand so that they can make an informed decision on what they want to do with their retirement, with their college funding, with their life milestones. So now with these 3 simple rules, you have the power right now to go out and pick the right investments for you at your stage and what you want to accomplish. All right. So I have this other presentation. I'm going to bring that up. That one. I'm going to do the other one. There we go. So you'll hear this a lot. A lot of people online love to say how the wealthy use their money. I love when they say that, because first of all, no one cares. Nobody cares. That no one cares how the wealthy do whatever. We really don't care. What we want to know is, how can we make it work for us? How do we take their concept and make that work for us right now? Because we know, I ain't gonna say that, but we know that the wealthy have had time to accumulate their wealth. So whatever strategy they're using, how is that going to work for me right now? And I'm about to tell you. First and foremost, the 3 rules of money, understanding those very simple rules, once again, gives you the power to make the right decisions for your goals and for your family. Number 2, how the wealthy use money is a mindset. The way they see money is very different than the way the Black community sees money, because they're talking about interest rates. We don't talk in interest rates. We talk in dollar signs. I'll give you a perfect example. A personal pension plan is guaranteed for life for your retirement. They have participation rates in the triple digits. Now, that don't mean nothing to a lot of people. But if you are a wealthy individual, when I say triple digit participation rates, they immediately know that whatever index that personal pension plan is involved in, they're going to get that interest rate times the triple digit. So we're not talking about Oh, I get 4%. Oh, I have an 8% account where I'm getting my compound interest on 8%. And when I retire, I'll have $1 million. They're not even talking like that. What they're talking is, all right, if I roll my money over into this, I'm going to get $300,000-$400,000 just for rolling it in there because I get triple digit participation points. So what the wealthy do with their money is a mindset. Another thing that I definitely want to mention, and I always use this hashtag when I'm posting, hashtag 100-year plan. What is your 100-year plan? I've sat down with a lot of clients and I explained to them the power of one life insurance policy. I ain't talking about your grandma's burial policy. I ain't talking about that. What I'm talking about is a permanent life insurance policy and using strategies so that your family now becomes a bank, so that your name is now a bank for your entire family. I'm talking about using life insurance to create a 100-year plan for your family. I'm talking about creating generational wealth right now for your family. I'm talking about taking one life insurance policy on one person who is extremely healthy, who's in their right mind, because you know we got that one family member in their right mind. So taking that one family member and putting life insurance on them, creating a family bank, making sure that everyone participates, using the rules of the family bank so that you don't have to go get approved for nothing. The wealthy use money as a vehicle, but it's their mindset that sets them apart. The more you know. So now this side looks like scrambled eggs. It's really simple once I break it down. So the top part is explaining the 401k to you. Like I said, 90% of Americans have a 401k or a 403b or 457 IRA. And these accounts have rules to them. And what they're saying is, oh, we're doing this for you, but it's not your money until we say you can have it. So they take your gross money. That means before you get your paycheck, before they take taxes, they take some of that money and they drop it into the market. So if the market does negative 35%, that's your money. It just dropped. So if it goes up, yeah, you get that. But it still has to do double what it dropped to even get back to what you lost, just to break even. So now there's also hidden fees with the 401k. And I don't know if anyone's ever paid attention, but they talked about this in the news, how people didn't know how high the fees were. They didn't know they were getting charged every month because these are actively managed accounts. So 401k and similar are active managed accounts. So that means every month someone is getting a chunk of your money before you even see it, before you can even use it. And guess what? You can't touch that money before 59 and a half unless you get a 10% penalty. And then when you pull out that money that you may need at that time, you have to pay taxes on it. And if you're in California, you have to pay state taxes, federal taxes, and a 10% penalty on your money that they said they were helping you with. Then on top of that, let's say you don't need that money and you don't pull it out. By 72, they're going to force you to pull it out and then penalize you for not pulling it out 50%. And then you still have to pay taxes on that money. This is your 401k. And this is why so many people like me, like myself, are trying to educate our community on how to take advantage of the programs for themselves, how to take advantage of financial vehicles. Now, like I said, life insurance is more than just a death benefit. It's more than just helping to bury grandma and grandpa and the family members. It's so much more than that. It's really for life. It is for your life. So let's say we take the same paycheck, your same paycheck. Instead of using gross, we use net. I know what you're saying. I'm going to address that. What about my taxes? Yes, you still have to pay taxes on that money today, right now. But keep in mind, do you think taxes are going to be higher or lower in the future? Keep in mind all these stimulus checks. They coming from somebody. And I just heard the IRS just got several $1 billion to upgrade their systems. Who you think they're coming for? So pay your taxes now. Take that money that you would put into a 401k and put it into your permanent life insurance. And this is what you get with that. You get protection. Look, whatever cash value that you have in your life insurance, it's not affected by lawsuits. It's not affected by bankruptcy. Taxman cannot come get it. And why not? Because life insurance is protected by a tax code 7702. And this tax code is saying you can't touch this money because it is for widows and for children. And how bad would the government look if they taxed widows and orphans from their life insurance policy that their parents left for them? Okay. So not only that, it also can help supplement retirement. That's a whole nother conversation, which I'm gonna touch on a little bit. Because look, supplementing your retirement, do you know that, look, when Social Security was created, it was 40 working adults to one retiree. Now we're down to 3. And y'all already know, don't nobody want to go to work. Everybody want to work remotely. I'm just saying. So with that being said, they're going to have to up the retirement age, lower the retirement benefits from Social Security so they can keep up. Because look, people are living longer. And a lot of times people don't even know how simple the Social Security system is. Like me right now, I'm a working adult. So the money that I'm putting into Social Security right now, it ain't for me. They're not saving that for me. That's for Betty Lou, who's already retired. I'm paying for her retirement. So then when I retire, whoever youngster is working, he gonna be paying for me. So that's how that's work. That's why they're saying it's gonna run out, because it's not as many working adults. And then these elderly people are living longer. We have the most people living to 100 than ever. Just imagine if Betty Lou, who's 80 right now, lives to 100, I'm supposed to retire in 20 years. So that means her and I both are going to be retired, but I ain't going to be contributing no more. Yeah, look, they know how bad it is. So instead of just relying on the government, a personal pension plan, cash value life insurance can protect that. All right, let me get back onto this. So life insurance in general, you can supplement retirement, start planning for college. And this is where that $1 million baby policy comes in, which is my absolute favorite policy, because you can put this policy on a 14-day-old infant. And look, I'll talk the talk and walk the walk. I have one for my niece and my nephew. Look, it is not a joke. So we create illustrations so you can see what this account's going to do for these children. So you're saving, let's say, $150. Look, I worked with clients who can't save that much. They can start off with $50. Look, something is better than nothing. Just imagine if you're putting away $50 every month till this child turns 18 in an account that's going to give you interest rates. Let's say they've averaged 15% and more in the last 30 years. You heard what I said. They averaged 15% in the last 30 years. And because it's an index account, there is no negatives. You never lose your principal. And you can access money whenever you want. You just pick up the phone, you call the company and say, hey, I want to use my money. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. And that's why I said you are protected. Now, let's talk about the cons, because like I said, as financial auntie, I'm here to tell you the truth. So the negative to the life insurance is simply this. Now, so you have to pay for that benefit so that you never lose your principal. You have to pay for that. So there's a cap and there's a floor. A cap means that if the market does 35%, you're not going to get the 35%. You're going to get the 15%. But if the market does negative 50%, you will never see that because your floor is 0. And in some companies, it's 0.75, which means even if the stock market goes well below 0, you're still making money. So that's why I'm like, this needs to be yelled from the rooftops. We need to know, everyone needs to know about these accounts. They need to know how to save properly. And I know I've had people tell me, well, what about the 529 college plan? Look, that is taxable. When you pull that money, you got to pay taxes on that. That's first. And second of all, it has to be used for education. When you set up $1 million baby policy, It could be used for anything. If your child decides, I want to be a real estate investor, pull that money out that account, get your child to start it. They don't got to go to school. You're not going to be penalized because they chose not to go to school. It is for whatever that child chooses to do. So, and the reason why they call it the $1 million baby policy, because these policies are structured. And yes, that's why you have to work with a knowledgeable, a licensed professional, because these policies are structured to fit your financial goals and your financial situation. But a $1 million baby policy is structured for your child to hit $1 million by retirement. Now, in some cases, that retirement age can be chosen by you. So if you choose to put in a certain amount and you're like, I want my child to be able to retire by 40, it could be structured for that. If you're like, what, I want my child to be able to retire by 65, it could be structured for that. That's why I said these vehicles can be structured for you. They are customized for you, for your situation, what you want. And I haven't even touched on the living benefits. The living benefits is the best thing ever. And you can have term insurance. Term insurance is temporary insurance. It has an expiration date. Now, like I said, everybody's not in the same financial situation. Let's say that you were struggling and you're like, this sounds good, but I can't afford it. Term policy is where you should start. Now, I am not an advocate for that term and invest the rest. I mean, you can do that. I ain't knocking it. But you can start somewhere. And term is where I would start if a cash value life insurance is something that you feel is not doable. But when you've been working with a licensed professional, trust me, it would fit your budget. And if not, that's why working with a licensed professional is so important, because we look at the entire snapshot of your life. We're not just looking at, okay, what can you afford? Come on, let's do. No, and then we do annual reviews. So we sit down with clients every single year to go over, hey, are you hitting those goals? We literally work for the client, but we're paid by the companies. So the client never has to worry about coming out of pocket. If any licensed professional tells you to come out of pocket, that's not the one to work with, because the companies pay us. Our clients never pay us. They never come out of their pocket. Anything that comes out of their pocket goes straight into their accounts, into their savings accounts, making sure that their life goals are being met. And so that's why I'm the financial auntie, because I am here to tell y'all the truth. Now, what I do definitely want to mention is the skepticism in our community. And I know why. Because historically speaking, these type of financial products were not marketed to people that looked like me. And the only thing that was marketed to us was burial insurance. And things have changed quite a bit. Insurance companies are not allowed to ask you your nationality, your ethnicity, not allowed. But they do want to make sure that you're healthy. So let's say if you got a whole long list of health issues, you do need to work with a licensed professional, because your health issues may still be able to be insured, but you have to qualify. So that's the important part. And I am a huge advocate for get it as young as possible. I know this is something that young people aren't thinking about, but it is important. Like I was saying, a lot of all of these policies come with living benefits. So if you were ever terminally ill, critically ill, or chronically ill, 2% of your death benefit will be paid to you monthly. I'll say that again, because Social Security, first of all, you got to qualify. They want a lot of paperwork, and that's if you can write. Second of all, Social Security disability, even worse. And any disability from county or state, it's only going to be it's going to be temporary. So what if you're really injured and you need access to your money? The life insurance said, you know what? You put in a claim, and I would put that in the claim for you. You're not doing that yourself. None of these steps that you're going through, we hold your hand through the whole thing. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. Once you become my client, we go together. Like, we go together. We are together till we can't be together. We are together. So if we're going to be together every year, I'm going to be sitting down with you, making sure that everything is going right for you. And I'm going to sit down and make sure it's right. That's why I said we go together. I ain't gonna just let you do this by yourself. No, but it's important. It is so important that people understand that you don't have to pay additional insurances to have this particular benefit. I'm telling you, it's an amazing industry. I wish more people that look like us was in it, because that way we can get the message out a lot faster. We could help more people. Before I started doing this, I was a social worker with foster care kids. I've had foster care kids tell me, I'm not going to see 21. I'm not going to see 30. I've had them tell me that. And I would see that and I'm like, but you can. Like, this life is so amazing. Like, these things, these simple concepts, they can really change the trajectory of so many lives if we start young enough. If we can change our mindset around what life insurance can be, if we can change our mind around how we count our decades, what's important. Because I know quite a few clients who rather buy a Coach purse than pay or even look into life insurance. And just imagine you can get your life. So now we've put value on something the world is saying doesn't have value. Less than 30 seconds by seeing if I qualify. So I'm gonna tell you right now. So right now, my nieces and nephew, they worth $1 million. That's value. I think every kid is worth that. I think every baby should have $1 million baby policy. But see, that's me. I don't want to go too radical because I really can, and let you know that. And I've heard it on some social media posts where they say, why don't Black people get more life insurance? We should. We all should. Every baby that look like us, put that $1 million baby policy. So if something happened to that baby, you got to pay our community $1 million every time something happens to one of our babies. I wonder if they'll listen in. What you think? All right, ladies, I appreciate being on your show. This has been so amazing. Did I get any questions? Because I don't want to keep talking. Because I'm going to start going on the deep end. I'm going to have the FBI coming for me like they did Trump if I start talking.
Listen, I got like a whole list of notes for you, okay? First of all, I need to get that $1 million baby, auntie. Okay, I have 2 kids and I need them to be $1 million babies. So we definitely gonna talk more about that offline. And I wrote the notes down. But there was some stuff that you did bring up that I wanted to know about. Like, you had talked about the index. Mm-hmm. And I kind of got lost when you started talking about the index. So I don't know if the community was lost with me too. So do you think that you can go in just a little bit more about, like, as far as what an index is?
Yes. Okay. So I don't know if anyone knows about the stock market. So they call it the S&P 500. When you see it on the news, they say S&P 500. What it is, an index is a bunch of companies that they have stock in, or shares that they own shares, and it's in one index. So you'll have companies like Apple, Microsoft. You'll have companies from restaurant industry, from tech industry, from various industries into this one index. And the reason why they're putting it together is so that they can mitigate loss. And if let's say the stock market as a whole goes up 10%, most likely this index is going to go up maybe 10%, 20%, because it has different industries. So it mimics the market. And what happens with an index is, because they have these companies all grouped together, they're not going to lose like they would if it was just one individual company. So let's say, like, if I just bought Apple right now, when we have a recession, Apple may drop to $100. But because it's in an index, because Apple may have dropped, but toilet paper went up. So it mitigates my cost. And that's why indexes are so popular right now. And you'll see a lot of people say, oh, get you an index. But the index is still in the market. So that's why, with the protection of life insurance. Okay. And this is something that I think this is why I think it's so important we talk about financial literacy.
Mhm.
Tier 1 capital, that is considered the safest capital. And this is the capital that banks and corporations have. And it's what life insurance is. This is what they're called, tier 1 capital, because all life insurance companies have to have all the death benefits that they've assigned to people. They have to have that money ready. So they never not have money. They can never, ever go out of business because they have that money sitting and waiting. And so they take a portion of that, look, outside of what they have to have on hand, and they invest into an index. And so that's where people like you and me can take advantage of a 10% interest rate, which we'll never see in any other vehicle, or a 15% interest rate. And if we're talking personal pension plan, we're talking maybe 30, 60, 40% interest rates that you're not going to find anywhere else. So, I mean, that's, any other, I hope I answered that for you.
Yeah, you did. You did. It made it more clear to me because I've heard of it, but I always get that kind of mixed with like the CD method as well. So, but I kind of understand that. I kind of understand it now. And it was something else that you said that kind of like hurt my feelings, Auntie. You hurt my feelings. You talked about the 401k, and it scared me. Yeah, because I'm a person that's been working for 16 years. So I've been having a 401k for 16 years, and I didn't never tap into my 401k until the pandemic happened. And you was right, like they taxed the heck out of me to get some money out of there. And I guess like with the one that I have, they have something that's called like a hardship, or you can do a loan, you know. And I didn't know the difference between, because I never really had to tap into it. But like you had said something, and you was like, did I hear you say that like if you don't take it out by 72, they tax you for that? Is that what I heard you say? Yeah. So you got penalized because you touched it before 59 and a half. And you also get penalized if you wait till 72. So at 72, they'll penalize you 50%. So with the 401k, it's a really good product if you're still working. If you're actively working, you're not looking to retire in the next, let's say 10, 15 years. So it's really, really good for that. It helps you get into the savings habit. But if, let's say you've left your old job and you have a 401k just sitting, then you're going to want to do something with that, because it's sitting there and just being ate away by fees, especially in a down market, because it's literally in the market. So that's what the 401k. It's not all bad. Yeah, you scared me. I was like, oh God, I've been investing for years. No. I mean, because you're young. Yeah, because you're young, you have time for it to bounce back. But like if you're my age, like I'm supposed to be retiring in 20 years. I don't want to see my money go down. I'm not looking for that. I mean, I'm like, look, I need every penny I can get. I live a premium lifestyle. I'm not about to downgrade. I got to get this hair did. No. Okay, sis. Okay, Auntie. Now, there was something else that you had said that brought to my attention. The life insurance. I know why people be killing each other for life insurance. Look. Because I never knew that you didn't get taxed on that. No. So, my question is like, we have a hard time bringing that type of topic to our families. Like you said, I heard you say, you got friends that want to buy Coach purses and shoes and stuff before they want to, make sure their life is secure. But it's like, as Black folks, we set in our ways, and we ain't got no money for that. We living for the now. Yeah. So how and you said it earlier. You said you got to get in a mind state. You do. And it's like, how do you get in this mind state when like, girl, I live week to week. Yeah. I live week to week, honey. Like I can't pay bills early. I don't have enough to save. And I heard you say like you could start with $50 a month and things like that, but that sounds like a stretch too sometimes. It can be. No, it can be. There's I work at a really good group, and we've had to turn clients down. Like, look, we can't work with you until you get into the habit of saving. And I'll tell you one thing about working in the insurance industry is you have stories. And the majority of us who start working in this industry is because we have a story.
In 2006, my dad was killed in a motorcycle accident. And it was so sudden because he was our breadwinner, I'm a daddy's girl. So, I'm like, who's gonna tell mama off for me? It's, it really, because he was the head of the household. We come from a nuclear family. You go to him for everything. And he was suddenly taken, and he did have life insurance. Now, if it had not been for that life insurance, we wouldn't have made it because he was the breadwinner. And I wasn't working at the time. I had just graduated college, and my mom had just retired, and my brother and sister, they were doing their own thing. And we're like, what do we do? We didn't know what to do because we didn't sit down as a family and plan for it.
Yeah.
And no one tells you what to do, how to start, we're kind of like just. And when the life insurance came in, because we lost our house, because it takes 3 to 6 months for the life insurance for them to actually cut a check. They want to verify that person died a certain way.
Yeah.
They didn't take their life. They weren't drugs and all that. So it took us 6 months to actually get our first check. By that time, we had lost the house. We were losing our cars. Like, we were really, really going down the toilet. And so here comes this check, and it really changed everything. Like, it didn't replace him.
Yeah, of course.
I'd rather have him. It's like we could overcome anything with him. But this was like his last, okay, here you go. Here's something to help you. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cry.
No, you're talking about your daddy. I get it, baby.
Yeah. And it was with that, we were able to purchase a house, like flat out purchase it. So we don't have to worry about a mortgage anymore. And I just think about, because I drive around and I see people holding up signs talking about car wash for someone who passed away. You don't have to do that. Like, literally, you don't have to do that. They have a company called Everest. Everest is a funeral concierge. And what they do is they argue with the funeral homes for you. And trust me, I've done a funeral before with my granny. They upcharge you when you go in there. You sit down and they're like, oh, your grandmother, she would want 4 motorcades. Like, what? My granny don't even know. What are you talking about? She need 4 motorcades. Like, why does she need a chrome casket? She don't even know. But I'm telling you. So
it's all a business deal. We know that.
I mean, like, they was really getting in. They was like, oh, she needs this. And I'm like, you don't even know my granny.
Right.
So, but it's, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be that way. It could be such a, I don't want to say, you can mourn and not have to worry about tomorrow. Yeah. You can literally process those emotions. And I think in our community, we don't get that. Yeah. We don't get a chance to process hurt, pain, loss. It's just like, okay, so-and-so died, you get 3 days off from work. Make sure you come back when you're finished grieving. No, I mean, you can grieve for years. Yeah. And sometimes we need additional help. We do need that therapist. And who's going to pay? Because a lot of times people you don't want your employer to know that you need a therapist. So you're not going to put it through your medical that you're getting from work. Right. So there's so many things that go into the loss of a person. And what's worse than that is, what if they don't die? So what if they have an accident and then they don't die? They're alive, but they're forever changed. That's a whole nother, because that's what I experienced. So when I turned 30, I got sick. I got really sick and I couldn't work. So if you can't work, you lose your medical, you lose your disability, you lose everything, because the only way you have medical is because you're working. Right. And so you lose all of that. And then you have to find out who's going to take care of you. And whoever's taking care of you can't work because they got to be there 24/7. And I mean, and then like I said, if you're trying to do county want their money back if you own anything. Yeah. So you have to be dirt poor. Don't plan on having any assets ever. No more than $2,000 if you go over $2,000, they want it. So it's like there's things that happen in life that we don't plan for, that we can have a plan, and that plan can actually feed into what we're already doing so that it doesn't feel like extra. And I know
Right.
that in our community, I don't want another bill. This is
Right.
not. Yeah, and that's that's what I hear a lot. I'm like, this is not a bill. This is a savings account that's going to give you double digits.
Right.
Like the little savings account you got here at what are they at Citibank? They're talking about, oh yeah, put your money here. We'll give you 1%. No, they ain't giving 1%. It's like 0.01%. And then go loan your money out to Joe Blow. Look, first of all, they won't even loan the money out to you because you got to qualify.
You already know that.
And your credit score probably not good. You don't have 10 years of employment. You don't make enough money. But I'm going to give your money to John over here.
Right.
So, look, we're saying no. Let's do that. If you got $50, $20, take your money, put it in your family bank for you. And these when you start talking family bank, when you start talking about $1 million baby policies, these are long-term plans. This is not 1 week later, I want to pull all my money out. Okay, yeah, you're not ready. You need to go budget. Got to learn how to budget your money. Make sure you consistently putting money aside.
That's a life-changing experience. That's a task.
It is. But it can't be an easy one. When you're ready, like I don't, like I said, most of my clients, when I have a client, we go together. So
I heard you say that. Now Tanisha just put a comment up here. She said, create a legacy.
Yes.
Now, something that you had said, and I don't know if you got any kids, Auntie, because you're Auntie, but you kept bringing up your nieces and nephews. Now, let me ask you a question. With this $1 million baby, I got tons of nieces and nephews. I don't know if I'm going to keep a legacy with all of them. Lord Jesus, if you give me the money, I will. But look, is that you can have anyone on your $1 million? Anybody could be $1 million.
Not
you
anybody.
Can have your kids and your nieces and nephews. Like I heard you say that. Can you go into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it has to be an insurable need. So it has to be a reason why you would be insuring this person. So aunties, uncles, yes, but you have to get the permission of the parents. Okay. Mom and dads, absolutely. And you have a lot of people who do that. So this is one strategy that I've used personally because, like I said, I've had health issues. So they don't want to insure me. They say, you're going to die soon. We don't want to insure you too much. So what I've done is I'm using my niece and my nephew's $1 million baby policies to create a family bank. So I'm using their health. I'm using their life as the catapult for us never having to go to a bank. And because I've been in this industry, I've been able to rally my family into that. So if my grandma, instead of buying all them toys, I'm like, Grandma, why don't you just gift them $100 and put it into their family bank? And it goes to their education. So by the time they're 18, 19, 20, 22, they'll be able to pay off the school loans. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I want them to keep the money in there so they can keep getting the compounding interest. And then when they're ready to use it, then they pull it out and pay off the school loans. Because the school loans have zero interest rate and very low interest rate while they're in school. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Use somebody else, OPM, other people's money, use other people's money. And then we'll pay it off with that. And then you can still keep using your compounding interest in your account. So it's strategies. It's using just regular basic life insurance that is structured properly, but using strategies to take advantage of these things. Now,
Auntie, in the Black community, we like fried chicken and greens and stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of us have diabetes and all the health issues. Like how does that hinder us? Because we can't say no to grandma's chicken every Sunday and then be trying to get life insurance and stuff. I can't pick or choose.
Well, one, that's why I said get it young, because I do understand. I ain't gonna lie, look, I understand, okay? So one, start out, get it young. You in your 20s. Look, when you in your 20s, you can have a full course Thanksgiving dinner and still be outside playing football. So one, get it young. Two, you look at your family. So if let's say you're in your 30s or even in your 40s, and by 40, 45, grandma started getting that diabetes, get your life insurance now. And it doesn't have to be a huge policy. It doesn't have to be a permanent policy, because even with a term policy, some companies if you do it within 5 years, you can change it into a permanent policy. And that's a great benefit. Also, because I tell my clients, you look in your family, do you have long life? And I have one client, her parents are like way up there. And she's like, yes. I'm like, so a term policy not going to work for you because you have long life. They expire in 30 or 40 years. I said, you're going to need permanent. So even if your budget can't fit a permanent life insurance right now, just know that you're going to be working towards cutting debt, budgeting so that you can afford these things later on. So that's why I said it's a whole process, and the process is free. We don't charge for this. We don't charge to get your budget together.
And I was about to ask you that next. I said, how much is it gonna cost me now?
It's free.
I'm gonna have to give a leg and a pinky. Like, what's going on, Auntie? How much is it?
I'm over here looking at your Instagram because I'm trying to figure out how to be a part of.
It's totally free. It is. We don't charge the client. Like I said, if you qualify, what we do, we submit everything to the company. We're like, look, we about to get you somebody who wants to be with this company for 30, 40, 50, 100 years. And the company's going to say, well, thank you. Here's a check. And so nothing comes out of the client's pocket ever. The only thing they're going to pay is into their policy for their family. That's it.
Now, when it comes to life insurance and things like that, don't you have to go through like physicals and things like that to be approved for your life insurance, right?
Yes. So you do have, like I said, you have to qualify. So if you're 18 and over, yes, they'll send out a nurse. This is only if you're getting permanent life insurance. Now, if you're getting a term policy, you don't have to go through this process. But if you are getting permanent life insurance, yes, they want to make sure you're really healthy because they have actuaries that this is their job to study when people are going to pass away. So they have the numbers. They know that a group of 20-year-olds, they're going to live a certain amount of time, depending on, whatever area they're in, what city they're in, all of that. They have that information. Now, that's why men life insurance is a little bit more expensive. Because they already know they do some suspect stuff.
I ain't even about to get. That's a whole nother show right there, Auntie. That's a whole nother show.
I'll say that Sunday.
Yeah, you might want to drop in on Sunday, Auntie.
Yes.
I brought Shani back up on the stage to see if she had any questions because we need this in our life, and we're gonna have to connect with you, Auntie.
Please, you know how to find me.
Yes, I'm on your page now, strolling and stalking. I see your videos. I'm about to get in tune with all of the information you have to provide. But what would you say for high school students who are getting ready to go off to college? Like, what would you say to them to prepare themselves for, that transition into the real world?
Yeah. Hopefully parents have started getting them to start saving young. That's the hope. If not, that's okay. Parents can still open up, I would say an index universal life insurance policy on their kids, and the parents contribute to it, but have the kids also contribute to it. So if they start working, so that by the time they graduate, they're already in the habit of saving a certain amount of their paycheck. I don't care how small it is. So the parents can take care of the bulk of it, but working in conjunction with their child so that they're getting the advantages of having a double-digit account so that they can take advantage of compounding interest. So I think that's very important. And also you're getting it while they're healthy. And on top of all of that, because college, they do some dumb things in college. They still have that death benefit just in case. And they have that critical, the terminal, and chronic in place. So it's kind of like you have the best of both worlds. And at 18, they're going to qualify because they healthy. You feed them one day, they hungry in 30 minutes. So yeah, they're so healthy. It's ridiculous. But I know it's difficult to think about, but this is the reality. The reality is if your kid is going away for college, it's a possibility somebody may not like the way they look. They might have a hoodie on.
Right.
So why not put value on your child's life? Be like, oh, okay, you want to just start hurting kids that look like me. All right. So every time you do, you got to pay for it. And the insurance company will be like, wait a minute, why are we paying so much money on this group of people because they don't want to lose their money like that. They've invested billions of dollars on research to make sure they know when people are going to die.
Right.
So now all of a sudden you have a group of people who are dying too much. Oh no, things are going to have to change.
Right.
They're not going to let their money slip like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Auntie, you were saying about the index. You said that you can pull from that anytime that you want. So did I hear that correctly?
That is correct. Like I said, this is a long-term strategy. So as you're building, because there is a cost of insurance, like anything, there is no free lunch. So if you're getting all these benefits, there is a cost to it. Now, the cost is minimum compared to the benefit that you're getting, but you want the cash to accumulate to a certain amount before you start pulling. And there's two ways you can pull the amount. You can pull out the actual cash that you're putting in there, and you will be taxed. We don't want taxes. So the way we do it is, once again, OPM, other people's money. So we use the life insurance company money by pulling a loan. Now, because this is your policy, this is your finance, this is your family bank, you can choose to pay that back, or you can choose not to pay that back, but it's yours.
But you still got to pay taxes on it either way it go.
If you take it as a loan, you don't. No.
Oh, as a loan, you don't. Okay. So you basically borrowing from yourself?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of better than getting the interest rates and stuff from a bank.
Yes. And then when you use the loan, you're not pulling your money, that your actual cash that's sitting in the bank accruing interest. So you're still receiving the interest on top of that. And certain companies, they have they're different types of loans, but they keep the interest rate minimal. So no matter what, you're still getting over the interest rate that they're charging you for that small loan. So let's say you pull out a loan and they're charging you 5%, but yet your account is making 10, 15, and 20%. So literally you could pay that loan off if you choose to with the interest, and it would never even bother you. So I would say it's a mindset, because I know a lot of people, they don't look at money as interest. And when you start looking at interest, first of all, for me, it's easier to calculate because there's less numbers with interest rates, but you start to understand how many advantages there are. So when I say cost of insurance, you may get a policy that's a $1 million policy, but you're paying 1% of what you're putting in there. So if you're putting in $250 a month, you have $1 million policy, and you're paying 1% of your $250. You're getting a bargain.
So okay. I think I heard something. So with that $1 million baby, you can pick and choose how much you actually want to invest in it every time.
Oh yeah. So now keep in mind, the more you put in, the faster you become $1 million baby. The less you put in, the longer it takes.
Okay, so average household of 4. You have 2 children and a husband. So if you have those 2 children, what's the estimated amount that you think someone needs to put down in order to hit that $1 million mark?
For my niece, I started her policy when she was 4 years old. So I do $150 a month, $150 a month.
That's it?
That's it. And so by the age of 65, she'll be a millionaire.
Hold on, let me get my calculator. I ain't good at math. So
let me I'm a little behind.
Wait a minute. Carry the one. Let me see.
Now, when you get the illustration, because like we illustrate all of this and it shows you all the numbers. So when you get the illustration, by law, we're only required to, we can only show the minimum. So the minimum is like 6%, 7%. So this is at 6 or 7% interest rate. Now, what they'll show you also in the illustration is that on average, these accounts are doing 15%. They're doing 10%. So actually, we're showing you something less, but we're over delivering, and that's the goal. Yeah, and that's what we want to do. Exactly, we want to show you, hey, this, if you do the bare minimum, this is what you'll get. But in reality, you're gonna get way much more. You're gonna get way more than that. And like I said, that's why it's a mindset, because some people are like, no, that's impossible. I don't believe that. But no, it's real. And when I literally, because I'm a skeptic too. So that's why I started with 150 with my niece. I'm like, we'll see. So I started with the 150, but then when my nephew, I was like, oh no, we gotta max fund his
Max out.
policy.
You gotta put a little
So,
extra for the nephew.
look,
Nephew.
yeah, look. So yeah, for him,
You
we're
playing
doing first of all, we're
football
doing
and all
it
kind
once
of
a
stuff.
year. So we dump the money in once a year so that the entire amount that we dump in is hitting that interest right away. So if you do it monthly, it's only doing a portion of it. But if you put a whole year's worth in there right away, there you go. And so look, this is for those who know that earn income credit. And my sister did. We took that and we put it in his life insurance.
Yes.
So yeah. For those who know, same thing with the stimulus.
Yeah, the stimulant. Yes, that stimulus. Yes.
Look, we dropped it right in there.
Oh yeah, so, we need to talk offline.
We need to talk. I got some questions that I need a private. You said we go together.
I know community want to know.
My first date. I need my first date.
Personal.
I need my first date. I need to know if I'm gonna come back. Okay. Don't worry about the shrimps and lobster. Okay, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
So what age do you think is a good age to introduce finance to a youth?
Oh my God. You know what? I don't think there's you do it daily. My niece, she's 3. And when we go to the store, I let her pay. I mean, one, because I'm scared to get COVID and I know she's younger than me and she might be able to survive it. I'm joking. That was dope. But
I'm going to use that one, Auntie. I'm going to use that one.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I want her to know when we go to the store, we coming for certain things. And I let her participate. She participates in everything. Now, when I was a foster parent, I mean, because I used to be a foster parent too, and I love the kids, I do. I would make it an event. Like I would give the kids their money and I'd be like, go get what you want, but this is what you have. And I always thought it was so important for them to understand you don't want to spend all your money. You don't want to give someone else everything you got. Like pay you first. Like this is yours. What are you worth? And it was a self-esteem thing. And I wanted them to feel empowered because I always had girls. And I noticed that, especially with girls that look like me, we buy people. And that used to piss me off because I would have these amazing girls and people would use them for their money because they knew they were foster kids and that they had to have a certain amount of money all the time. And it would make me angry because I'm like, babe, you are so much more than a bag of Cheetos. You are so much more. So pay you first. Go get what you want first. Do what you need to do first for you. And then whatever's left over, if you have anything left over, if you can spare it. I mean, and that's a big if, then do that. But that was something that I always saw. And even coming up, that's a big thing because we take care of everybody. Right. And that for me, I don't know about anybody else. That's a generational curse I'm breaking right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. When my niece come up, she ain't got to take care of nobody. And I don't care what anybody say. So they're like, oh, well, she ain't helping you. She can't help you do nothing. Don't ask. So that's like I said, that's me because I see women that look like us. We are relied upon for everything. And we're ending that.
Yeah. See, you have to come on our Sunday conversation. Like it's an absolute must. You have to come.
You said we go together, so you need to be there, okay?
We go together and share some knowledge because this is all of the stuff that we would like to talk about and bring to the community about the struggles of being a woman. You know, because we're always last on the totem pole.
We are. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not going to even front with you, Auntie. It's the fear for me. You know, it's the fear of like, oh Lord, like how I'm going to budget this in. Yeah. You know, but like you said, you do have to reevaluate your income and things like that and figure out a way. But that was another question that I wanted your advice about something.
Okay.
This financial piece, I don't know how you grew up or like what's your thoughts around like, how do you feel about the kids like that lives in the house? Do you think, and you kind of brought it up a little bit, how you said you take your niece to the store and you let her pay, right?
Yeah.
But the mental health part around it is like, do you share with your kids like, mama's a single mom and this is how much I'm working with, and this is how much, like, how debt do you go into, like, involving your children like that? Because you don't want them stressing and worrying. That's not something that they should have to worry about. But then in the same sense, like you said, you want to educate them on being financially, because we didn't get that when we grew up. You know, we had, I ain't gonna tell you my age, because we had the food stamps, that was the paper, the books. You don't know nothing about that. Y'all had the cards. But you know, if you grew up in the 80s, such as myself, you know, we was able to go down.
I know about
the corner store and get the Cheetos and the Newports and the Coca-Cola for your auntie. Yeah. So so we know about
you have to rip it out.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about that, Sean. You don't know nothing about that.
But I do.
You don't know that the green was $5 and the blue was 20. You don't know nothing about that, okay? You don't know that the $1 was brown, okay?
Out of here. I'm mad you remember the colors.
Oh yeah, I remember the colors. I grew up in the 80s. So my question is, like, how deep do you go in as a parent? Like, as a I see over there laughing. Like, well, how do you? What is your thoughts around that?
Okay, I'm gonna be so real with you right now. First of all,
and I'm gonna say something after.
First of all, when we qualified for food stamps at one time, that was the best stuff ever. Free food. Oh my God! Look, it was the best stuff ever. I'm like, can we get food stamps again? But I just don't like the process to try to qualify. They want all your business. Like,
I wish I could get a.
Man, those pandemic food stamps came in handy though.
Look, don't look. We had the best eating when we was on food stamps. I mean, we had fish, lobster. Lobster.
But hold on, because y'all didn't have the bootleg lady in y'all neighborhood like I did. Y'all didn't have it. Y'all don't know nothing about that. See, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Went grocery shopping for you.
That took the food stamps.
I'm gonna go a little bit deeper for you. You ever sold your food stamps?
Ooh, people selling them now.
Well, where they at? Because I'm mad about it.
But no, I mean, to be honest, when we were coming up, and we were in low income housing, so like mom had to qualify every year. She couldn't make a certain amount. She was real with us. She told us, look, this is what we had. And my dad, he would tell us that's why your education is so important. He was like, people died for you to be able to read. Yeah. And I thought that was the most horrific thing in the world. So I read everything. Like I read, because he was like, and my dad was from New Orleans. So he had stories.
Oh, yes.
And my mom, she was from Compton. This is when Compton was the suburbs.
Ooh, power couple right there. Orleans and
yeah. So when we were coming up, they would tell us, they would be very open and honest about our situation. And I ain't gonna lie, I was mad most of the time because they were sending me to school with white kids, and they had everything. And then there was later on, they had a group of black kids who had lots of money. Like I don't know if you're familiar with the Baldwin Hills area,
of course,
Hills. So I was in school with them. So I was the broke kid, and I'm watching them with getting cars at 16. And like my presents came from the 99-cent store. So I was I ain't gonna lie, I was angry. I was not happy with that. I'm like, why y'all broke? Like, what y'all didn't do right? Why you broke? So they explained to us, they talked to us, we weren't in some type of fantasy that if you just do hard work, you're going to do well. No, it was when you walk into a room, you better know what you're talking about.
Okay.
When you do something, you better know 100% what you mean. And that really prepared me for going out into corporate America, because that's usually where most of us start. Unless we're fortunate to start in entrepreneurship. You have some who are just straight hustlers like that, and they can start as soon as they turn 18, before they turn 18. And it just depends on where your mind is. So
but you have to introduce it to prepare them for that mindset.
For us, we start as soon as they come out the womb. Because I know with my niece, I don't want her wearing anything sexy, because I know we're sexualized. I don't want her. I mean, she's 3. but you still have people say, "Oh, that dress is kind of short." I'm like, "Grandma, I will punch you in the throat. I love and respect you. I do. Goodness, Granny, I do. I love you. I respect you, but I will punch you in the throat. Don't talk
Don't be
about
punching
that.
Granny.
Look, she a little girl. She can wear what she want. If I approved it, she okay. So, but I'm just saying that it's you start now. You for us.
Mm-hmm.
That is for us.
That's my take. I have
Yeah.
my son will be 21. And because my mom was always transparent with me, I've naturally been transparent. And I'm the same way with my daughter. Like, just if I go to the bank and I pull out some money, I hand it to her to count it. I was doing that with my son.
Yeah.
My background is in finance. I have a degree in finance. So it's something that always came second nature to me as well. But I still need a few of your tips. I need a lot of them and pointers. But for me, seeing my son manage now, because he's away, he lives in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And I just came back from visiting him, and just seeing him take on being a young man and paying bills and being responsible. And he always tell me, like, Mom, you taught me right. Like, I know what I'm doing. So, but he'll call and he'll ask different questions. But I think it's better to be more transparent
It is.
than to leave them in the blind.
Yeah.
It prepares them for the future, so they're not going into the world blindsided by what stereotypes are, of the world are saying that you should do or shouldn't do. That way, like, how to save a dollar, how, what I'm saying, how to stretch a dollar.
Exactly.
How to manage your money. Like, those things are very important, just being able to, and then it's realistic. I was having my son and he didn't like it, but after he graduated and he came home after his freshman year in college and he was working, I made him give me a certain amount of money. He was pissed. But he just moved into, he been in his apartment for a year, but I have money for him.
Yeah.
But it was his money.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like being transparent and teaching that way is good for me.
I think that works for us. And like I said, I say us because they did a study. Goodness, I wish I could remember the name of it. But they did a study and they were trying to figure out why predominantly Black people in certain situations get so upset with their white coworkers. And it's because we are so honest. Like, we want truth. If you don't like me, say you don't like me. Cool. We ain't got to be friends.
Right.
If you do like me, then cool. We can be friends.
Right.
And it's the same thing with our kids. We're not going to create a fantasy, because we know when they walk out those doors, nobody's going to treat them to a fantasy. They are not little princesses and little princes. We know that. And so I have to make sure they know that and they understand that you are what they're afraid of, because you are great. And I need you to walk in your greatness, but I also need you to be careful and make it home.
And make right decisions.
And I feel in my heart that it's so unfair. Why do they have to carry this extra burden? It's not right. It's not fair, but it is life.
Right.
And if I want my nephew to grow up into the wonderful man I know he's going to be, then these are the rules of the game he has to know how to play.
Right.
You don't have to put those struggles on the child. You just introducing them to this is a PG&E bill. This is rent. This is like, I had to show my son, like, these are all of our bills. And when he was younger, I worked, but I also door dashed. Like, my hustle was mean. So he know where it come from, and he know how to go get it if he have to.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
It's hard for him to be in the know and not in the know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like with my daughter, are you familiar with Go Henry and like the green light card?
Yes.
I use Go Henry for my daughter. She get every Friday, it sent me a message that she's going to be getting her allowance on Saturday morning if she do whatever her chores are.
Yeah.
And then I set it up where it take out a certain amount of money from her chores and goes into a savings account. She's able to look at it from her phone. People can send her gifts. She, and it's like you said, that confidence and that pride. When we were in Atlanta, she pulled out her card and was paying for herself. So it's teaching that independence
It
and
does.
how to manage your money, because also when it declines,
You know that
Exactly.
feeling. Okay, you don't want it to happen again.
Yes.
That's a real embarrassing feeling when you at that grocery store, honey. Hey, I'm not going to tell you. I went to Walmart and I didn't know Walmart didn't take Apple Pay, and that's how I felt. I'm so used to using my phone. I'm trying to Apple Pay. Come on, and they're like, "Ma'am, we don't take Apple Pay." I felt like my stuff was declining. Okay.
That's why I hate Walmart. I try not to go
Yeah.
there.
Me neither, but I had to. I was right there. I had to do what I had to do. But Auntie, thank you so much for coming on here and educating us with everything
Thank
that you
you.
do. I want to give you the space to talk to the community before we jump off. And any lasting words or anything that you want to tell the community, it's all yours, Auntie.
And please come back and join us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you for
We
having
go
me.
together. We
Do a
go
segment with
together.
our
We
youth.
go together.
I would love for you to do a segment with our youth.
Oh, I would love to.
Yes, I would love for you to do just so the questions they may have, and being in college and learning how to manage and budget and things of that nature. I would love for you to do us just to prepare them. Do a segment with our youth.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I am here for the community. I really want to help all family. I direct most of my messages to women because I don't want to. We outlive men. That's just what it is. We outlive most of our men. And a lot of times when we do, we end up in poverty. And there's no reason for us to, because we are, I'm gonna just say it, we are America's number one asset. I don't care what nobody say, we are. And we decide how everyone's life go. Without us, there is nobody else. So we need to make sure we taking care of us first. Once we're okay, once our cup is full, and we got a little bit left over in the picture, you might be able to get some, but that's
and we always forget to make sure our cup is full.
Every time. And a lot of times that's where our ailments come from.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to make sure we're okay first.
Yes.
Especially if we ain't got nobody checking on us. And I think that's what makes our community so beautiful, because we can create a community where we're checking on each other.
Yes.
We've started that, I just want our community to become stronger by having the money in it, so that we're not scrambling. We're not scraping. Great grandma don't have to go to Walmart and be a greeter. I don't want to see that anymore. I hate seeing grandmas walk by themselves to the doctor's office when they don't have to. They don't have to scrape and pinch. No. We have financial vehicles that can assist us right now and make sure that what we're working towards is protected, it's guaranteed, it's never going to run out, and we can leave it behind by creating a legacy.
Yes.
We can break these generational curses. We don't have to continue like this. We're in an era where everything can be different.
We really are. The pandemic changed the game.
It did. It really did.
You can be your own boss.
Oh my God, in so many ways. And like I said, we don't have enough people that look like me who do this.
Right.
Like literally, we had a convention and it was a lot of different nationalities, but not a lot of us. Yes. And we could really benefit from this industry. The financial industry is the number one millionaire maker. And you have some powerful women in this industry. Mm-hmm. That even if, let's say, you just come to the industry to learn more for yourself,
right?
You gonna make money. And it don't help. It don't hurt to have a little something on the side. But I love this. I do. I love educating, and that's how we talk to people. We talk to people from an educational stance. We're not trying to sell you anything. We don't want to sell you nothing, because if I'm selling you, I don't want you to have regrets when you go home, lay your head on the pillow. I want you to lay your head on the pillow and know that whatever happens tomorrow is protected. Whatever happens tomorrow, it's guaranteed to grow. That no matter what, it's going to be all right.
Yes. Thank you so much, Auntie, for coming on
here.
You guys go follow Auntie, the Financial Auntie, Miss Unique. She is definitely an auntie. She's definitely knows her stuff. And what I like most about you, auntie, is that you look like me, and I'm sure you smell like cocoa butter just like me too. So hey, we go together, community. She go with us. So reach out to auntie. Auntie, I mean, this stuff is real, community. We have to start taking our foot, putting both of our foots in front of each other so we can be ready. So, because like she said, the cushion needs to be there, and we don't want to wait until a tragedy happened, like she shared with us. And I want to say I'm sorry for that you lost your father, but I'm also happy that you took the blessing and realized that you got to continue to take care of yourself as well as your family. Community, we can't keep waiting till the last minute.
Yes.
Like we said, there's excuses. We spend our money on Coach purses. We getting our hair done. We getting our nails done. Maybe every other month, community, we have to figure out how to be financially stable for our future, for our children, so we can get some $1 million babies.
Now is the time. $1
million babies.
Now is the time.
And it was something else that you said, auntie, that you know. You're the second person to bring this to my attention today, that being like an African-American person and then being in the industry where you're the only person that looks like that person. But the passion is there so tough that you want to help our people. So you guys, I know y'all don't want to work, but she said it's money in this field. So you never know. Go there and just get educated, listen to the information and see if it's for you. And if it's not, you might have an auntie, you might have an uncle, you might have a cousin or somebody else that may be interested in, because we need some $1 million babies. Okay. Yes. Shani, is there anything you want to say to the community before we go?
I just want to say, take advantage of these opportunities that both sides of the conversation it's presenting, through our platform. We're trying to educate our community and make sure that we can grow and be whole in unity as one. And just thank you, Auntie Financial, for your contribution to our community and to us in the knowledge, because each one teach one. And the more that we know, the more that we grow. And the more that we know, we can pass on and we can, cut out all the generational curses and start building wealth within our own community and our own families. So, I just want to say thank you, community. Thank you, Auntie Financial. Thank you, Tony. And we love you guys.
Both sides of the conversation. I'm your girl, Tony Rochelle, your co-host. But I've been the host this week. We holding it down for John Henry, our CEO. Happy birthday. It's been a great week on both sides of the conversation. We brought the fellas to you on Tuesday. We brought the financial education to you on Thursday. And let me tell you, Sunday is going to be hot like fire, because it's going to be Ladies' Day. So y'all have to tap in. Community, if you love what both sides of the conversation is doing, tap in. We always need volunteers. We always want to be educated. We always want to make our community feel like we're there for them, and we want to make sure they have all the resources. Ain't no kept secrets in our community. This is our platform. This is our platform, community. So come, tap in, follow us on all platforms of social media. And if you someone that have an education, that you have something that you want to educate our community about, please go to our website. Please go on to our YouTube. Watch our previous shows. Get connected, community. Get connected. Until then, we thank you and we love you. Happy birthday, John Henry. And happy birthday to Yana, too. We have another birthday today on our team.
Yana.
Happy birthday, Yana. We love you. I don't know about y'all Leos, but we love y'all a little bit. We love y'all a little bit. But
yes, happy birthday, John. Happy birthday, Yana. John, we hope you're enjoying your vacation as we hold it down at both sides of the conversation.
Y'all go follow Auntie. Go follow Financial Auntie Miss Unique. Until then, community, peace, love, and keep ascending.